Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we have something really exciting to take a look at because we have a brand new Jurassic World line that we finally get the opportunity to kind of dive into a little bit. As you can see, we have one of the Blokees Jurassic World boxes, and it does look really cool. The figures, I think, look quite exciting. They do feature articulation and a little bit of a stylized look, and you can see the box art looks really nice. If we actually take a nice closer look, you can see all sorts of different dinos on here. Definitely more so geared toward Jurassic World rather than Jurassic Park, but since it does say Jurassic World, that makes sense. The logo is also kind of the Rebirth logo, so we can see the Spino back there. But as you move down, you basically can see, if the glare allows it, a whole bunch of different images showing off all of the different, vehicles and dinosaurs that are available in the Blokees line. Now, I think the boxes are basically, I guess they seem to be like blind boxes, pretty much. Yeah. So, it doesn't really tell you what you have inside until you open it up. But you've got almost like a crate sort of a look to the box, which is pretty cool. Again, storing your dinosaurs in a crate before they get here. And overall, it's pretty nice, really quite appealing looking box that they have here. So I'm going to go ahead and open this box up and we'll see what we have inside. So we have the outer wrapping off, and now once we pull it open, we can see inside. We basically have a whole, well, if it lets me show you, basically have a whole bunch of different smaller boxes in here. So if we pull out one of the boxes, you can see over here on the side, we've got a shot of the T-Rex. I don't know for sure if this, in any way, shape, or form tells you what dinosaur is inside the packaging prior to opening it up, but over here again, nice little checklist of everything that is available within the Blokees line. I don't know if there's going to be more after this, but I would definitely, without having even opened these, I would definitely love to see more from Blokees in the future. You can see the Jurassic logo again right here on the front, and each of the little boxes also kind of feature that crate-like sort of a look. So I'm going to go ahead and get the wrapping off of this, and we'll see who we have. So we have the wrapping off, and we now have to open this up, try to get into the box to see who we have. So in the box, you then have a smaller little bag. It's almost like one of those instances where you get a box, and then inside the box is another box, and then inside that box is another box. And before you know it, you're looking all day before you find something. And inside we have part of the Spino, the blue Spino. So I don't know if that means for sure that that's exactly who we have. Oh, I'm definitely thinking it is because we have a card over here as well. Yes, so it is the rest of the Spino in here. Let's bring all the pieces out as I kind of toss them everywhere. Get everything out here. So as we can see, they basically come unassembled at first, and then you have to go ahead and put them together. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble our Spino really quick, and then we'll check it out. So we have it now put together, and here is the card that you see inside the box. You can see a really cool image of the Rebirth Spino with some information and stuff, as well as a QR code. And then on the back, you pretty much just have the assembly instructions of the Spino. Now, when it comes to the Spinosaurus itself, here it is. And you can see it does look really cool. Definitely sports, again, that kind of exaggerated, stylized look, but absolutely very reminiscent to the Rebirth Spinosaurus. And it is also very highly detailed. The sculpt is really well done. Now, it is a little hard to tell how highly detailed because it is in a translucent blue, but I can definitely tell you I'm very impressed when it comes to the fine detail of the Spinosaurus, and the actual articulation, again, is pretty impressive for something like this. It's also quite stiff, it takes a little bit of force, not an unhealthy amount of force, but they're not loose. The parts are not loose on this at all, which makes it actually very easy to articulate and display because, the legs don't crumble or anything like that on the figure, which is also a huge plus. So, with my very first of the Blokees figures, I'm definitely impressed. So we'll see who else we have here in the package. Of course, we've got another box, and each box is probably going to look the same. So if we are to go by the way that the last one worked, we might get a pretty good idea as far as what we have in here this time. Just with the extra pieces? Nope. Okay, so this one is a little bit different. But we do have the card to tell us, if I can get the card out. And the card actually shows off another Spinosaurus. So it looks like we've got ourselves a different Spino straight out of the gate. which is not a bad thing. And actually, now I'll be able to give you a little bit of a better idea of how good the detail is. This one's interesting, actually. This one has parts that the other one did not. Oh, that's right. Okay, so certain figures actually have parts of a skeleton, I believe, and that would then, if you get all of them, you can build the T-Rex skeleton. So I'm pretty sure that's what that is. So again, as you can see, I've got a whole bunch of pieces. I now have to repeat exactly what I just did a moment ago with the Spino build. Get this one built, and we'll show you this one. So again, just like we had before, same card it looks like pretty much, but of course the instructions are now for this version of the Spinosaurus. And once you grab the Spino and take a look at it, again, you can definitely see how much nicer the detail is when we look at this version. And another thing that's really cool is it actually has some very nicely applied, I guess, because it looks like it's actually a decal, but some really nice eyes on the Spino. I'm really unsure if I should just take a closer look at them here in this video or do a more thorough review on them. I think I'll probably go the route of just unboxing them this time and then doing a review in a separate video as far as these figures go, because there's just so many. I don't want the video to go for absolutely ever. But the next one is going to be... Let's get that card out of there. Oh, we've got Velociraptor Blue. So let's go ahead and get that one out. Open this up. Whoop. Well, I should not have opened that up so quickly because now I have pieces flying everywhere. Let's go ahead. It looks like actually it would be blue and beta potentially in here. Yeah, it definitely looks to be the case. And I know that's how I had seen the images of the Raptor, of Velociraptor Blue. So again, I'm going to go ahead and get this one assembled and we'll check it out. So now here is the card, which does again show off the breed Velociraptor. So it's not specifically like, you know, it's just the Velociraptor. That's why you get beta and blue. And then, of course, the instructions on the back. And when it comes to the figures, like I'm saying, man, these things are really nicely done. Again, you've got the eyes on blue, which are really, really impressively applied. Like, they look super nice, and they also have a nice gloss coat. But the sculpt and fine detail, again, is extremely well done on these. It's also extremely vibrant. And on top of that, the head sculpt is like super spot on to Velociraptor Blue. So to say that I am impressed with these figures would definitely be an understatement. And again, we've got little beta here as well, which also looks really cool. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit more of a thorough review on these guys in a future review. But we've got another box, so let's get it open. So inside this box, we'll see who we have. We have got... Oh, it looks like we've got the T-Rex. Yes, we do. So let's go ahead, open this up, bring all of these pieces out, and it definitely looks like I've got some assembling to do at this point. So let's go ahead and get the T-Rex built now. So the T-Rex card has that classic sort of Rexy image there, and then of course the assembly instructions on the back. That card did get a little beat up somehow in the packaging. And then we of course have our T-Rex, and again the eyes, they always look so nice. They're just really, really well done. And I'm just more and more impressed with these as I move through, not just because of the sculpts, but like the articulation is so nice. Like the T-Rex has really nice neck articulation, which is very surprising. And again, I love how they do have that screen accurate sort of a look, but an obvious stylized look as well. They're very, very cool figures. And we actually got some more T-Rex bones. We've got like some hip bones and stuff that came in that package there. So I don't know if we're going to get the entire T-Rex skeleton in this set. I'd be very excited about that, but we'll see what happens. Again, we've got another one, so let's get it open. And this one is, well, actually has a pretty big package in here. Maybe a vehicle? Oh, it is a vehicle. It's the capture vehicle. So let's go ahead now, get this one opened. Hopefully this isn't too hard to assemble. Doesn't look like it's going to be. And it definitely looks like it's going to be fairly simple to assemble. Again, there's the card showing off the capture vehicle. This is the first vehicle that we've acquired in the this box of these Blokees figures. So let's go ahead and get this put together. So we have the capture vehicle now assembled, and even the vehicles are really nicely done. Like, I am beyond impressed with how good these figures are. Even the vehicles, again, have some nice playability. It actually features some articulation here in the claw, which can go all over the place, which is really cool. I also like that we have the Jurassic logo here on the side, so very cool vehicle. Again, moving on, and in this one, oh, looks like we have another vehicle. We do, alrighty, so this time we have the Heavy Duty Transporter. And then again, pretty cool card with a nice instruction manual there basically on the back. We'll go ahead and pop this open. See how many pieces we have. The last vehicle was super easy to assemble, so this one shouldn't be too bad. And we actually also have some more T-Rex skeleton pieces in here, so that's really fun. Quite a few of them, actually. I'm definitely hoping that once you're done with one box, you actually have the full T-Rex skeleton, because I would love to actually be able to check that out as well. But let's go ahead and get this one built. So there is the heavy-duty transporter now assembled, and again, looking really cool. We've got the Jurassic logo there on the hood, and even the fine detail of the vehicles is actually really impressive. Even on the underside, again, they are definitely nicely done. They move very smoothly as well. So really happy to now have two of the vehicles in this set. We'll go ahead, pop another one open. So inside this one, looks like maybe we've got ourselves a dinosaur. Oh, we do. Oh, wait, what's this? I'm actually a little bit confused now, because I got some pieces that look like they go actually to the heavy-duty transporter, but also the Stygimoloch. So maybe there's just like a cage for the Stygimoloch? I'm not too sure exactly. I guess we'll have to look at the instructions on the back to see what we're dealing with here. But we have the Stygimoloch right here as far as all of the parts. Make sure they're not any hanging out inside the packaging. We'll go ahead and get this figured out, assembled, and we'll come right back. So again, as I was showing you guys, the card looks really nice. We've got the, pretty much classic image of the Stygimoloch at this point, and then again, the instructions on the back. And when you look at the back, you realize that this is actually, well, if I could just hold on to it, a cage to put around the Stygimoloch, basically to contain it, which is pretty cool. I actually really quite like that. And then, of course, the Stygimoloch itself, which is really nice. Again, I would say that this is probably one of my favorites so far from the line. It just looks really well done, and again, the fine detail is extremely impressive. I feel like, painting these would be really cool, because you could make them look super highly detailed when it comes to, more detailed paintwork on them. But even, just the plain standard, almost Invicta-like colors, just adding in a little bit of eye color on these figures is a really neat idea from Blokees. And again, we'll move to the next one. So popping this one open, see what we have inside. We've got a few things. All right, we have the card. Oh, it's the Stego skeleton. That's pretty interesting. So go ahead and pop this one open. This is the first time we've had just like a straight up skeleton in this line from any of the ones that I've acquired. So yeah, we've got quite a few pieces, but again, the actual skeleton looks like it is quite nicely detailed. So get this guy assembled. So again, the skeleton on the card does look pretty fun, and then of course the instructions on the back, and then we do have the skeleton itself, which is also actually quite nice. Again, when it comes to something like this, I'm very impressed with the detail in the plates. It wouldn't be a bad figure, again, to add maybe like a wash to or something, and it would really bring out the details. So we are down to the final 4 in this box. The next one is, let's go ahead and pull it out and find out. Another vehicle. Actually, we have the, let's go ahead and see the helicopter in this one. So 3 vehicles in this box. Bring everything out without losing anything. Boy, there are a whole lot of parts in this one. We definitely have more of the skeleton as well that have shown up in here, so we're definitely getting closer to having all of the pieces of that T-Rex skeleton. But again, there's the card showing off the helicopter. Now we just need to get it built and check that out. So again, the card showing it off, looking really cool, and then the actual assembled product itself, which also looks really cool. And again, there's so much playability with these figures. You can see, like, obviously you can use numerous different aspects to play, and you can even open the back. Like, how cool is that? It's definitely, again, a really, really nice looking helicopter. So the next one is, let's see who we've got this time, or what we've got this time. It looks like we actually have the T-Rex skeleton. So that's confusing because I don't know if it's just a straight up T-Rex skeleton altogether, because I thought these other pieces assembled a T-Rex skeleton. Maybe there's two, I don't know, but let's go ahead and open this up and see what we've got in here. So I think we have everything out of here now. We'll go ahead and bring the card up. Oh, maybe this is just the remaining pieces of the T-Rex skeleton. Yeah, I think that's what this is. So obviously there's the card, and then the back showing how to assemble everything. And we've got like the base and a few other pieces here. So I'm actually going to put this off to the side for right now until we have all of the other boxes open, and we'll check out the T-Rex skeleton at the end. So in this one, we have that does not matter. And looks like we've got ourselves the actual Stegosaurus. So we have like the regular living version of the Stego, which is very exciting. Again, the card shows off that super cool image right there. And then we're going to go ahead, open this up. And just like usual, we've got quite a few pieces to assemble, so we'll get that put together. So there is the Stegosaurus now assembled, and again, looking very nice. As I said, you can definitely see, like, proportion-wise, the figures are obviously a little exaggerated, a little bit different than what you would see on the actual Jurassic World dinosaurs, but they still have that very nice, again, fairly, like, accurate-looking look to them, while still being you know, a little bit stylized, which is very interesting. And I think, again, they've done a very good job. Also, just generally on the overall quality, like, they do feel really quite high quality, which is also a big plus for these figures. So the final one in here is, oh, the Triceratops. So if that's the case, I think maybe we've had one of every different species that you could possibly get in here, which is absolutely the case. And in fact, we have just in general the majority of the line, except there are like these two up here, which again are like painted versions, I guess, that unfortunately I wasn't lucky enough to acquire. But still really cool. There are also other variants of the dinosaurs, as we can see a different Velociraptor, different T-Rex from the ones that I have acquired here. But that just means that I'm going to have to go ahead and get another round of these and see what I get in the next box. But there you can see we've got the pieces of the Triceratops. I was going to say there's another piece hiding in there. So let's go ahead and get that assembled. So there is the Triceratops now, built and looking pretty cool. Definitely resembling the Jurassic World version of the Triceratops, as opposed to like a Jurassic Park version, so we can definitely see where they got the material to create this one was definitely Jurassic World, and it again looks really cool. And of course we as well have the card for the Triceratops, which you can definitely see it right there, you know, very much so the Jurassic World style Triceratops. But I've also built the T-Rex skeleton, so as we can see, you do get the entire skeleton of the Tyrannosaurus in the box, and of course it looks awesome. You actually also get this with it, again with the Jurassic World logo, kind of like embedded into stone, which looks really cool. And if you turn it around, you can see again Blokees there on the back. But here I like that this actually has, you know, Tyrannosaurus Rex skull. It says there on the actual base, and then you have the T-Rex kind of stomping down onto the base. So that's pretty cool. And again, definitely a nice addition to this set. So as we can see, you get quite a bit of very cool figures in these Blokees boxes. As we kind of bring them all back in, we've got the living version of the T-Rex as well. There is a whole lot to love when it comes to this set of figures. Man, there are so many figures that you get with these Blokees boxes. Again, another Spino. We as well have the Stego skeleton. And then, of course, our Raptors on top of everything. So as you can see, when you snag yourself one of these boxes, you get a ton of Jurassic World figures to enter into your collection. You also, of course, get a ton of cards, which we had taken a look at the entire way through. And by far, you get your money's worth, that's for sure. Definitely a lot to love about these sets. And again, if you are like into repainting, these would be really cool because again, they come basically like almost primered in the color that you might want to paint them in, but then you can of course add all sorts of paintwork and details to them as you move through. I am intrigued to find the others though, because I would like to have the complete collection of these guys, so maybe I'll have to do that, or at least give it a shot and grab another box of these. But without a doubt, these are a massive recommendation from me, and make sure you check back for the full review of these figures once I get that finished and up here on the channel. And if you want to grab yourself one of these incredible boxes of Blokees Jurassic World figures, I will include a link in the description to Big Bad Toy Store where you can purchase them right now. So make sure you do that and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.